Again, welcome to Inch by Inch Art. So today I'm going to be using some inspiration from the game Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, specifically the Switch version, because I'm going to be styling it like the game. But I'm going to be customizing this lighter case. So this has one end that's the bottom and one end that's the top. There's basically just a little edge in here that helps hold the lighter in. And when I'm done, I can put my lighter in here and just press it in till it's flush on the bottom. You can see, you can use it just fine. So let's get into it. I went through all of my colors of clays because I decided I want this to be done with colored clay. I'll probably do a little bit of either painting or some sort of accents, maybe with like pastels or something. But I wanted it to primarily be made with clay because I haven't done just a colored clay piece with very little to no painting in a while. And I have tons of colors, so I already went through a bunch and tried to match up as best as I could certain colors that are going to be important. There might be some that as I'm making it, I decide I want to add in that I haven't grabbed already, but I'm not going to make you watch me go through all of my ridiculous colors of clays. So I basically just took the case over with me to where the clays are and looked at, like, you know, close enough to flesh tone, that one will work. I've got yellow for his hair and for the little road background and for the Triforce on the shield. Got a little bit of gold for his buckle. This blue is very dark. It'll probably work fine for the shield, but if I do a butterfly or a sky or anything like that, it'll work for the dark bit of the sky, but I might have to work with some other colors and sort of make my own if I don't have enough variety. Got some light blue for my clouds, white clouds, random spots. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to try to write anything or not, because text is really precise and might just be more annoying than fun. And I'd like to have fun when I'm arting. So this is a really dark chocolatey brown, which I thought would be good for the hilt of the sword, maybe his boots and belt. Another brown for the trees and some background stuff. This is you probably can't tell, but it's actually glittery, and it's like a fuchsia color. And I couldn't quite decide if the egg was pink or purple or fuchsia, but this color looked like it was really close, and I like that it's got the glitter in it, mica powder, whatever. So I decided I would go with that for the spots on the egg, the windfish egg, and then black for his eyes and potentially some accents, red for the shield, silver for the sword and the shield, and then this really light like pea lime green for grass and stuff like that. So yeah. We'll see how this goes, but I expect I'm probably going to have to dig for more colors as I go. I'm thinking to start, I'll probably roll out a really thin piece of clay to be the base to go over the Sculpey Bacon Bond so that I have a bit of a foundation. So I was just looking at the case and trying to think of what I want for my design. I think I actually want to do Link on one side about the size that he is on this cover. I think it'll actually work out pretty good. It's about the right size. But on the other side, because the windfish is, you know, the main point of the game, I wanted to do the mountain with the clouds and the egg at the top. So I'm gonna attempt to fit that on here. It's obviously gonna be a lot smaller. So I would say the blue makes the most sense for this side because the sky's set behind the mountain and clouds and egg. And then for this side, it's kind of a toss-up between green and yellow. I do have a lot of yellow, but I feel like the green between the different grass and the trees and stuff and his outfit, that I'm actually going to be best off going with that light green first and making the right mix for it. So I'm going to attempt to make a single sheet of green polymer clay that I'm going to flatten in my pasta machine and try to get around as close to this color as I can. I added a bit more blue to this one that I've had some variety because I thought that this might match these bushes and might look good with those trees. So I was also thinking that it might be good to sand this because it's super, super smooth, and I just want this to last as long as possible. So I'm gonna just hit this with some sandpaper real quick, and I'm gonna throw this into my pasta machine to make it evenly flat. And then for the blue of the background, I'm going to do like a faded, I'll do a dark blue, and then, is this one glittery? Yeah, this is a good one. So I'll do this blue to this blue and just sort of do like a fade effect for a sheet on the other side. Okay, so I finished cleaning my pasta machine. It's this guy right here. And I've grabbed some 320 grit sandpaper to rough up the metal in the middle so it's not so smooth. So I'm just gonna take this and move it in a little circular pattern. Okay, you can see it's been scuffed up pretty good now. It's a little bit powdery. I think that's just from something I was previously sanding with that sandpaper. So pro tip, if you can use some clean sandpaper when you're sanding, that's a good idea. I'm just going to take this to the sink real quick to get all the dust, powder stuff off, and also clean my hands, because when you're working with polymer clay, you want clean hands. And back. So it's been cleaned, my hands have been cleaned, and hopefully you can see really clearly here that it's scuffed up pretty good. I didn't go crazy with it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but it's just to give the Sculpey Bacon Bond a better chance of grabbing on a little bit better, because I was concerned at how smooth the metal was before. So I think that'll be a good foundation. And now onto the pasta machine. So basically, if you're working with polymer clay and you ever want to have very fast, even sheets, pasta machines are good. Also, if you want to do the, it's called an ombre effect, I think, but what I was talking about before with having the dark that fades into the light, it's much easier to do with a pasta machine, and I will briefly show you how to do that. Okay, now that I'm done with my pasta machine rolling, I've got my green base and my sky base. So I'm just going to use the Sculpey Bacon Bond and slather it all over. I'm going to spread it out with a silicone sculpting tool so that it's nice and smooth coated, and then I will press these on. It was at this point I realized my clay sheets were not big enough to cover each side of the case. I tossed them back into my pasta machine and rolled it on a thinner setting to get more coverage from the same piece. I'm matching the clay up to the seams on the metal to ensure I put them at the halfway point. This way I can have a nice clean half and half look. So now you can see I trimmed this up and it's looking pretty good. I'm going to move on to trimming that at the halfway point so I can get going on the next side. think I'm ready for detail. I'm gonna start on the side that will have Link on it and will be him in the grassy area. I don't necessarily want to copy the cover. I'm using it for inspiration, but I have played the whole game and I quite enjoyed it. So I'm thinking about what elements from the game I actually want to put in rather than just trying to mostly duplicate the cover. So don't expect me to make exactly this, is all I'm saying. So I'm going to start out by doing the background elements. I know that I want to do a little path and like an outside scene, though I do think I'm going to add an enemy, maybe two. I'm still trying to think about which enemies I want. So I'm just going to start with the background and then work my way forwards, also in deeper dimension, making Link really stand out more. Since I did the shading with the tree leaves and I like them, I wanted to do it with the bark of the tree as well. So I just took a little bit of the dark fudgy brown and I'm just going to put it on the areas that should be the darkest parts of the tree. I'm going to put one of the crows that usually hang out on top of the trees. I'm going to see if I can fit it up here.
To remove fingerprints, I lightly brushed the whole piece with rubbing alcohol on a paintbrush. I wanted to give these clouds a painterly feel since they were more wispy and in the background clouds off in the distance, so that's why I styled them quite different than the really bubbly clouds that are around the mountain. Now that I have finished painting, I decided to put on a delicious protective coat of UV resin. Well, that's it from me. If you'd like to see more of me making my art, please like, follow, and subscribe.